The Court of Appeal upheld the Federal High Court's decision, meaning INEC remains barred from recognizing the outcome of the PDP's planned Ibadan National Convention. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, Asian stock markets plunged Monday as oil prices soared 30% on fears about supplies from the Middle East as the US to Israeli war against Iran continued into a second week with no sign of letting up. Investors already spooked by concerns over extended tech valuations and the huge spending on AI ran for the hills as crude rocketed to its highest level since the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Fears grew that the Middle East conflict could last for some time after US President Donald Trump said only the unconditional surrender of Iran would end the war. At number 9, Russia won its first Winter Paralympic gold medal under its own flag since 2014 as Ikwerre Voronchina was crowned Women's Super G standing champion on Monday in Cortina. Despite Russia's ongoing war with Ukraine, the International Paralympic Committee has allowed 6 Russian athletes and 4 from their allies, Belarus, to represent their countries, accompanied by their national flags, rather than competing as neutrals. Already a bronze medalist last weekend when she claimed Russia's first podium appearance at a Winter Games in 12 years. 23-year-old Voronchina beats French silver medalist Aurielle Richard by 1.96 seconds on the Olympia del Toffen piste on Monday to claim top spots. At number 8, the spokesperson of the Nigeria Police Force Headquarters, INEC Lagos, Nkeruka Ndwode, has responded to allegations made by activist and publisher of Sahara reporters Omoyele Sowore, describing the claims against her as fabricated and previously investigated. Sowore had earlier issued a statement to the newly appointed Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, urging him to probe Nwode, a chief superintendent of police, over an alleged connection to what he described as a police-linked organ harvesting ring. In a statement posted on social media, Sowore alleged that Nwode conspired with individuals within the judiciary to imprison whistleblower Nnamdi Eme after he exposed the alleged crime. At number 7, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has remitted a total of 1,570,671,200 naira to computer-based test centers that participated in the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination registration exercise. The disclosure was contained in a bulletin released by the board and signed by its public communication advisor, Fabian Benjamin. JAM said the payment represents the 700 naira registration fee collected on behalf of CBT centers from candidates during the UTME registration process. It explained that it collects the 700 naira registration fee together with the EPIN registration charge and remits the total directly to accredited CBT centers on a weekly basis. At number 6, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, said it has disbursed a total of 206.29 billion naira in student loans to 1,164,222 beneficiaries since the launch of the scheme. The fund's daily status report as of March 9, 2026 noted that since the portal opened on May 24, 2024, a total of 1,724,985 students have applied for the loan scheme, with more than 1.16 million already benefiting from disbursements. Data from the report indicates that 270 institutions have benefited from the program so far. The loan, which covers tuition fees and student upkeep allowances, was introduced to expand access to higher education in Nigeria. At number 5, the federal government, through the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, has begun moves to secure crude oil supply for the Dangote Petroleum Refinery through third-party international traders. In a bid to sustain domestic refining operations, the Punch has leapt. Officials, however, warned that the intervention may not immediately translate into lower petrol prices for consumers. Nigerians currently grapple with high fuel prices following the recent hikes in the cost of the commodities by the $20 billion Lekki-based refinery. Oil dealers and industry players confirmed to one of our correspondents that the refinery temporarily suspended the loading of premium motor spirits, a development that heightened speculation that another fuel price increase could be imminent. At number 4, members of the Rivers State House of Assembly are currently sitting to screen the commissioner nominees sent to them by Governor Siminalayi Fubara. 9 nominees were escorted into the House at about 10 a.m. on Monday Monday. They are Dantoye Alasia, Tonye Belgam, Temple Nwofo, Peters Nwago, Mrs. Charity Dimwa, Tamuno Williams, Lekwe Kenneth, Antonye TKD, Amartri, and Amariga Harts. Fubara had on March 5, 2026 forwarded a list of nominees to the lawmakers for screening and confirmation. At number 3, Governor of Adamawa State, Umaru Fintiri, has imposed a 24-hour curfew on Lamurde local government area of the state with immediate effect. The decision follows renewed violent attacks and breaches of peace in the communities of Tushobo and Botiye. The curfew was announced in a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Humwashi. According to the statement, Governor Fintiri described the development as unacceptable and directed security agencies to strictly enforce the curfew and maintain law and order in the area. The Governor also urged residents to comply with the directive and provide useful information to security agencies to help restore peace. At number 2, the African Democratic Congress ADC has called for the arrest and investigation of the chairman of Ikwerre local government area in Rivers State, Charles Wobodo, over an attack on the convoy of former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amaechi. The incident reportedly occurred on Friday, March 6, 2026, along the Omuwanu axis as Amaechi traveled to his hometown Ubima for party registration. Executives of the ADC made the call while briefing journalists in reaction to comments by the council chairman following the incidents. At number 1, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed an appeal by the People's Democratic Party against the October 31st judgment by Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja, restraining the Independent National Electoral Commission from recognizing the outcome of the National Convention planned by the PDP for Ibadan, Oyo State on November 15th and 16th. In a unanimous judgment, a 3-member panel of the Appellate Court resolved the 4 issues for determination against the PDP. The court held that the appeal by the PDP was without merit and that the Federal High Court was right to have delivered the October 31st judgment and granted all the relief sought by the plaintiffs. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.